How's it going, everybody? This is Voe making a request video from Holy Hell Mel. Today on I Love Loose Figures, we're talking about horror action figures. Not my niche, not my cup of tea. I don't like horror at all. It's not my thing. I hate jump scares. I don't even like seeing mice run across the room. I freak out. But here we are talking about some horror action figures. Holy Hell Mel is presenting this episode today. So go on over to YouTube like you already are right now and check out Holy Hell Mel for all things horror. Yeah, you'll be happy you went there. Speaking of her, I will be on her channel here in the near future. She thought it would be a great idea to have me watch a horror movie with her and video my reaction and have it on YouTube. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm not one for horror movies. I am one for content. So, content. Anyway, horror action figures. There are a lot of them out there, you know. Just doing a little bit of research, I found some that I really liked and wanted to highlight. And it's so weird because one of them, I was shopping at Walmart and stumbled across, and I was like, this is kind of fitting because I'm doing research randomly at home for this episode, and then there was one in the wild, and I'm like, okay. And horror doesn't have to be just jump scare. It can be all kinds of stuff as I've done my research. You know, it can be Phantom of the Opera, like the old school, before the musical Lloyd Webber came out with. There's Frankenstein, there's Dracula. There's all kinds of stuff that can be classified as horror. So, maybe I should revisit horror. Anyway, let's check out some of the awesome finds that I have found on the interwebs about action figures, horror style. First, we have Beetlejuice, don't say it a third time. We got Beetlejuice as a figure that I didn't have as a kid, but I really thought he was cool looking. I liked the cartoon growing up, and this just depicts the great cartoon. I love the packaging, and for $119, not too bad of a score, guys. Next is this figure from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Holy Hell Mel introduced me to this movie many years ago, and I liked the movie. I can't tell you much about the movie, but I did like it. And I like how the figure looks, how detailed it is. I would actually snag this for my collection. Speaking of Holy Hell Mel, this is her favorite movie of all time, or at least one of them. It's Jaws. This boat with the shark on it, it's super close to the authentic. It's really cool to look at. $289, it'll be yours, guys. We're going to need a bigger boat. Alright, Freddy Krueger, orange. I just really liked how this popped out at me. You guys know I've never been a horror movie fan, but as a kid I had neighbors that loved Freddy Krueger, and I always see them with the toys and with the hand, and they always played around with it. It's just nostalgia for me. I just love this figure. Will I have it in my collection? Probably not, but I'm not a horror guy. Next is probably one of the rarest, maybe even one of the first action figures for horror fans. It's an antique, vintage, however you want to call it, frozen Charlotte doll, Victorian era porcelain. Looks so creepy for all you creepy fans out there. This one's right down your alley. In my search for horror action figures, I found this advertisement for vintage monster models. Only $1.49 each, guys. Dracula, the Creature, the Mummy, Frankenstein. You could order this stuff, fill out the information at the bottom right, clip it out, send it in, and you'd get that toy. That would be a crazy find to find these days. I bet they're worth a lot of money. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Casey Jones as Phantom of the Opera. I actually found this one in the wild. I was excited to see it. I didn't know it existed. And it was right in time for this episode, too. So the details on this figure is so cool. And there you go. There's just some of the action figures that I found that I liked. Let me know what you thought about today's episode. Comment that below. Also, Comment any other ideas you'd like to have seen here on I Love Loose Figures. Like, subscribe, make the world go round. This is Voe. May the Voe be with ya.